Can you actually hear me this time?
Yeah, it sounds fine on my end. Does it sound fine on your end?
That one was like a decent conversation. I could actually hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, do the intro, lady. Let's do it.
Hello, and welcome back to Mindless Prattle.
The podcast where we only have problems. That's
Literally,
it.
I also just noticed instead of Mindless Studio, you put Mindless Studio.
Dude, I don't care. Other than the recording, whatever. I don't care.
The podcast where we constantly have tech problems.
Yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. But if we're doing audio only, we may be able to switch back over to the other software and not have to pay for this one then, because this one was just for the video portion.
That's true.
Small wins. Everybody listening, I essentially this week I moved. And so for the foreseeable future, I will be in a hotel. And as they are known for the best Wi-Fi, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi right now. So when we tried to record a couple little test bits, the video and audio would record, but there was such a delay on my end that every time that Ripley would stop talking, there would be a good 10 to 15 second delay between when she would stop talking and when I would hear it to respond. So it just looked like I was sitting there staring off, not doing anything for a good 15 seconds at a time.
As you usually do. Yeah.
Right. So it just, it doesn't work is what we've decided. So what we are doing is this week is switching to audio only. Sorry for all the, dozen people on YouTube. I can probably still upload an audio version. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
well, I'll look into it.
I don't know if we can afford it, but maybe we can animate somebody, or we can put our voice. I
don't know if we can animate anything, but we can for sure upload audio. So we'll have the audio portion. It'll be out on time this week. It'll be crazy. You won't even know there was problems till you start listening, and you're like, "What problem did they have this week?" It's that I moved and I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. That's the problem.
Doing amazing.
Oh yeah. Hey, but we turned off the cameras.
I have cat napping in my lap.
Yeah, we turned off the cameras, so it's actually recording properly. And as long as my internet holds up, it should be good. We will see. We'll see how the hotel Wi-Fi goes. Maybe it's a 3-minute episode this week. You never know.
Yeah, because I can mostly hear you, but every once in a while it still breaks up a little bit. So we'll get through it.
See, that one was delayed for me, so that's fun.
Well, it's constantly uploading,
right when I stopped talking?
I didn't that time. I was pausing to look at stuff on the screen. Because, it constantly uploads.
Girl, I'm afraid of the pause. I'm sitting here explaining how I'm worried about it pausing, and then you just fucking pause. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I was taking a second to look at something. I'll narrate next time. But I was just thinking about how it constantly uploads when we're doing it.
Yeah, it's so that we don't lose the recording. So even if my internet goes out, we'll still have both the audio portions up until the point that mine goes out. And yours will still be recording even if mine drops out. So if I suddenly leave, you can still record. And then I can try and jump back in and
go steal a guest star
and join again. You go get a friend real quick and steal it from them.
What's that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Let me phone a friend.
Let me phone a friend. Get somebody on random. Get somebody in a Discord. Just have them join in.
So, have you heard of my podcast yet?
You're right. Hey,
you're
last minute. Right. We're like, have you heard of this podcast? You're currently on it. Good news.
You've won the competition.
Hey, but you know what? Now I don't have to do my 18-hour routine to get ready for the podcast because my face won't be on there. So it's all good.
I didn't put makeup on today, so it's good. The cat has scratched the hell out of me this week. Good. I've got 7 scratches.
Yeah, you've been saying that. You're like, oh, she scratched this today. Oh, she ran into that today. You are fully in control of where she goes when you throw that wand toy around.
Well, like I said earlier, it was on the other side of the bed from me, And
are you clicking something in the background?
Sorry, I have my fidget toy on my desk.
Stop that.
But she was darting from one side of the bed, and I don't know how she like lost her footing or something and decided that my face was the best place to catch it. And so she
why was your face so close to the side of the bed? Like, what were you doing over there?
I wasn't. I was sitting on the opposite side. That's why I'm like.
And she jumped across the bed and hit you.
Yeah, but it happened so fast. I didn't have time to react because I was confused as to why she was jumping. Because normally she like does a little wiggle thing and then she jumps. No, she like, I don't know if she got scared or something, but she like hit my glasses off my face and scratched like my hand and my face, and I was like stunned for a second because I was like, how the fuck did she just do this?
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it was just you. I think it was you doing that. I think you just got too close and you were just like, this will work out.
And then yesterday I was playing with the wand toy and she like ran across my foot with her back claws out, and that's how she got me. But it was just because the wand toy got a little too close to my foot when I was sweeping it back and forth.
Oh boy. So you've just been playing with the cat and getting injured all week.
Yeah. She's sleeping in my lap right now. Yeah. It took her, she wouldn't relax with me for a while. And then this morning actually, I had been up for a while and she started meowing at me like while I was washing all the linens. And then like she meowed at me until I went and sat down on the bed with her so she could nap.
Yeah, I can see that.
She just wanted me in there.
Yeah, she's a needy little hoe. Like, she does that.
Yeah, and before she was napping on the back of my desk, and then today she's just like hopping up into my lap. But she like doesn't pay attention to the edges of the furniture ever. So she's like I have to hold her with one hand because she's gonna slide off my chair if I don't. She just like
cats
melts.
Tend to do that when they're unconscious.
But she trusts me. So that was the story I wanted to tell you, though, is that yesterday I had closed the blinds to take selfies and stuff.
Right.
And
get the lighting all perfect.
She hates like every toy but the wand toy pretty much. Like she's so picky.
Yeah, because
with how she wants to be played with. And she likes feathers. She doesn't like noise. All this stuff.
You really got to stop clicking that thing. It's loud on my end.
But she goes absolutely batshit crazy for the blinds. Like she kept darting in and out of them. Like not even like scratching them or anything. Just like she likes darting in and out of them and the sound it makes.
When they're closed like or when they're like open?
When they're closed, you know, like they go like back and forth together and it's like whatever.
Yeah, it's like that little cascade.
Yeah, so I had to open them back up because I was like, no way are you keeping me up all night with this shit.
That's why I told you get some what are they called? Like bungee cords and stuff. You can bungee cord them all together when they're open so that they don't rattle against each other.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to.
Oh man, I have been.
That's my story.
Nice. So I've just been working all week. I worked. Well, Monday I headed out, and then I was in meetings and stuff until about like 10:30 at night. Monday night, Tuesday and Wednesday I worked like half days, but I couldn't go home, so I was just hanging out doing nothing Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday I had to drive down here. And I just got basically thrown into the deep end with all this paperwork and new like responsibilities and stuff. And then yesterday, I worked 8 to 7, I think. Mm-hmm. It was a thing. And I was getting into this new position that I've got, and they essentially have told me that I'm working 9 to 5, except when we have meetings at 9 a.m. or things to do that are due before the next day, in which case we'll stay after 5. And I'm like, cool, how often are these meetings? Oh, we have 9 a.m. meetings Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then we usually stay after most days. And I was like, oh, good. So like 5 days of the week that I have to come in early and leave late. And they're like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And they're like, oh, and then on weekends, we usually have something to do like every other weekend or so. And I was like, oh, good. So like a 6 days on, 1 day off, and then 5 days on, 2 days off. That sounds like a good schedule. I was like, oh, thank you.
You're like, this is going to be so fun.
Yeah. It's a thing. But I'll do what I can to set into it. Can't complain too much. I finally got into a hotel room, so, I got indoor plumbing now. not complaining about that for sure. But yeah, oh my gosh, when I was staying in a room with, I don't know, 15 other people or so, and one of the guys brought a guitar. He brought a guitar, and there's no walls or anything. It's just, bunk beds lined up. So this dude is just playing guitar at like 8:30. No, it was after that. It was on Monday night, so it was after 10:30. Like, we got released at 10:30 from all these meetings we were in, and then we were all getting ready for bed, and this dude's just practicing guitar. We were like, why would you do that? Like, why would you just sit here and practice guitar in front of 30 people at 10:30 at night? He didn't do it the rest of the week, but I think someone talked to him, because I was like, this is ridiculous. Luckily, he only played like have to pull him aside songs.
I feel like if you don't stop, somebody's gonna beat your ass, dude.
Yeah, well, luckily he only played like 2 songs and then stopped. It wasn't like an hour-long jamboree or anything. But I was like, "What are you doing, sir? Like, what are you?" Yeah, I don't know. He was, and it wasn't even just practicing guitar. He was also singing along. He was singing with
was it
the
Wonderwall?
Song. I don't know. I walked past and didn't stop. Luckily my bunk was far enough away that I didn't really hear him, because it was down like the hall, basically, or down the building. So I didn't really hear him, but I could still hear a little bit of the guitar itself. And I was like, dude, it's too late for this. Why are you playing so late at night?
Like, please let me go to sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like this week just kind of passed by in a blur.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened for me too, other than driving down here and all that fun stuff. But I've got to I still have to go to Walmart today. I've got a list of stuff that I need just for the room.
How much?
Well, I was going to get a small trash can, because where I was at, there was no trash can in the room that they put me in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, the only trash cans they had were like the big, like 55-gallon trash cans, but they were outside. Like, so I would have to go outside in the middle of the night or whenever to throw things away. So what I was doing for the past couple of days was just putting all the trash that I had inside a little plastic bag, inside like a grocery bag, and then just taking it out when I had to leave in the morning. So I was like, I don't have a trash can or anything. So I was going to get one of those, but now that I'm in the hotel room, they have the trash can underneath the sink and whatnot. So
do you get room service like every day or?
No, because I'm here for so long. She said they come twice a week, or 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the schedule. It just rotates through rooms, so they don't have to come to every room 3 times a week. But if I don't need anything, I can just hang up the sign that says no room service needed for the day or 2 or whatever, just in case they try to stop by.
4 p.m.
It is 4 p.m.
I'm supposed to stream at 4, but I was just going to wait until after we did this, but I didn't realize how late in the day it got.
Yeah. Sorry, I had meetings today, like I said.
Oh, don't worry about it. I went out with my sister and everything, got boba, so.
Yeah, how's your sister doing? I was like, how'd your week go? And you were like, I play with the cat a lot. You have a new niece. But
yes,
sure,
my sister had a baby. She's super cute. I can't lie.
You have a niece now.
Well, a second niece. She's not my first one. I have another niece.
You have a new niece. Yeah.
Yeah, she's super cute. I love her. And I like holding her. I can see why moms have such like shredded arms. Because I could not imagine having to hold a baby all day long. Like it would get rough. But she's cute, and she makes all the same facial expressions that all the women in my family do, and again looks like a carbon copy of every baby in my family because we all look the same.
Right.
Super cute though. Love her. My sister's doing better. She's at home now, and she's walking around. I was going to say
she's. I saw you sent a picture. She's out of the hospital now. That's good.
Yeah, I guess C-sections are not as bad as they used to be. So she did have to stay for a few days because she had some bad reactions to the medication they were giving her. And then they were
I wouldn't know.
My sister's husband is Mexican, for those of you who don't know. And I guess I've been doing tests on the baby. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? And they're like, oh, yeah, she's looking a little jaundiced. And I was like, oh, I just thought it was because she's Mexican. And they looked at each other and they were like, yeah, what? That's what. Yeah, they looked at each other and they were like, yeah, that's exactly what we thought too. But I don't think the nurses realize that he's Hispanic. Like,
he doesn't look a whole
pretty
lot
pale.
Hispanic, but it's pretty funny that you were just like, it could be jaundice, but I'm pretty sure he's just Mexican.
Yeah, because I mean, she looks the same she did when she was born. Like, she didn't look like yellow to me, you know, like her eyes didn't look yellow. But and I guess they got the test results back that she's fine. I'm like, yeah, she's probably just tan. Like,
she's just tan. She's been living in the dark for 9 months. Okay, she can't be tan.
Yeah, like they tested her and she's fine. So I'm like, you did. I mean, I guess they didn't see my sister's husband because he had to work a lot when they were in the hospital. So they were like, look, they see my sister who is like she's as pale as I am, probably paler. She's much more cool toned or whatever. So I'm like, they probably like were just like, oh my God, the baby's jaundiced.
But baby's, the liver's failing. She'll never.
Yeah, but it's just, I think it's just because Gabe had to work so much that they didn't get to see him. Much. They were like, this baby is really tan.
That makes sense, yeah.
But I'm excited for them. And I went over, I brought my sister tea today. It was a whole experience. I was texting you the whole time, but
I am 100% convinced you just messed it up, because
I think I mixed up the menus.
The boba place by our house, it's you normally get there like panda chai something, and they're like, oh yeah, it takes right. You're like, and they always say, oh, it takes us a couple minutes to brew the chai tea, and is that okay? And you're like, yes. Now, the last time we went to get boba, we were going to Walmart to buy a bunch of stuff for the cat. And so we stopped by the boba place over by that Walmart, which we'd never been to before. And you saw that they had Earl Grey boba on their menu. So you got Earl Grey boba there. And then today you text me and you were like, I messed up the menu. They said they don't have the thing I normally get. And I said, what did you try to order? And you're like, I tried to order the Earl Grey boba, but they said they don't have that here. I was like, well, of course not. You're at the wrong boba place. What are you talking about?
So the first woman who was trying to help me, I guess she was in training, and so she got confused and got somebody else. And then that lady started ringing up like an Earl Grey tea with all this add-ons, and she's like, do you want cream and sugar? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, am I ordering the wrong thing? Like, I thought it was this. Am I saying the wrong thing? You know? And she was very patient, explained everything to me, but I just felt so stupid and embarrassed. I was like, okay, I'll just take like the oolong and the chai then. Like, I'll just get those two so I don't complicate it.
You had to have a boba place that you've been to probably half a dozen times explain to you their menu because you thought you were in the wrong place.
I was so anxious.
It's so funny to me.
I've never been there alone before. And the parking lot was a mess. So first off, before I even went into there,
always is a mess. There's no,
and it's a Saturday, you know, ever. It's a major shopping center. It's a Saturday, so they were crowded. But I got there at a good time, and I found parking on this lane that's a one-way. So you drive, you know, from the lane to the right, or the parking lane to the right. You drive around, and then you can park on the left side, and the left side's a one-way.
I know the section you're talking about. You're talking about the one over by the oil store, right?
Yeah, right there. And this lady did not, I'm walking and this lady is not paying attention. She almost fucking hit me with her car. Didn't even notice I was there at all. Like, I just stepped out of the way or whatever.
You were
and then just parked. Yeah, because I was going into the boba shop at that point. And then when I came out of the boba shop, this guy fucking pulled in that way again. And I was like, bro, you were so lucky no one's like trying to get out. The car left like 5 seconds after that. But I was like, what is, like, can you guys not read signs? Like, I don't go in wrong ways. I might almost go in wrong ways, and then I go, "Oh shit, that's a wrong way." Don't start.
That was years ago. That was years ago. No, you brought. Oh, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I cannot let this lie stand that you do not go down the wrong way, like the wrong way down one ways. Okay,
I correct myself.
A long time ago when we a long time ago when we were living in Vegas, you were driving. We were going to downtown Summerlin, which is like an outdoor shopping center, right? And
love downtown Summerlin. Shout out to all the people in Vegas.
You turned left to go under the highway, and on the other side of the highway, you tried to turn right so that you could go towards downtown Summerlin, and you turned right. And there was a car, just one car, and it was sitting there flashing its brights at you. And you went, I remember this because I was petrified of dying. You went, why is that asshole flashing their lights at me? And I looked up and I said, because the sign next to them says, do not enter one way. And you went, oh, shoot, and turned around real quick. So you can't sit here.
Listen, it was years ago. I was confused. I didn't take that way ever before. Then I always went around the casino.
That you don't go the wrong way. You definitely
I'm a much better driver now. I'm a much more cautious driver than I used to be as well, especially now that I pay for my own insurance.
You know what I just looked up?
Yeah, sorry, what?
No, you go
I was
ahead.
Going to say, so I had to take my mom to the airport the other day as well because she was in town for my sister's baby being born. And I had to take her to the airport in rush hour traffic.
You could just say your niece,
Oof. Let me tell you, I hate the traffic here. And I just was complaining to her like the entire time about traffic. It's just such a headache trying to get over. And I don't take toll roads because I'm not going to pay for that. I debated it, but I didn't do it. And that's my story. I hate traffic. TLDR. Driving makes me anxious. And your turn.
I was going to say, I'm looking up like different restaurants and things around me just to go look at. There is a Domino's and a Wingstop nearby.
Oh, you can try those little sandwiches.
So I am all set, really. There's a Long John Silver's, a Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers? Damn, a lot of them closed down. We used to go to Fuddruckers a lot as a kid.
A Chick-fil-A.
Now I'm kind of horrified by them, but...
Why?
Because they sell like buffalo burgers and ostrich burgers and things like that. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, yay. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I ate an ostrich or emu or whatever the fuck it is, like.
I feel like I'd try that. You wouldn't try like exotic things, or you could? I
barely tolerate eating meat, like.
What do you mean
the guilt I feel for eating meat?
Eating meat. All right, I'm not buying you any more meat. What do you?
But the problem is I'm so picky, and there's a lot of foods I won't eat. So like cutting food out is not great for me. I like meat. Sometimes I get really sad when I eat it though. Like I really love animals.
I really love animals. Oh boy.
I wish farming practices were more ethical. I guess that's all.
More ethical, like when
like small family, like your mom and them, like that's an ethical farming practice. Like they take care of these animals and whatever.
Take care. You think the other ones just keep them like in a stationary place, give them like a bunch of food
in a lot of factory,
and then kill them?
In a lot of factory meat farms and stuff like that, like they stuff these animals together, and then like for cows, they essentially to get milk and stuff like that, they essentially rape cows so they keep producing milk with like a machine, and like they spend like 80% of their life like standing up being milked, and it's like painful and terrible. But like small farmers aren't like that. But it's like the really big factory farming that's an issue, especially when it comes to chickens.
Is it like that?
The way they treat chickens is like horrible. I've seen like videos and stuff, and it always makes me feel bad.
I don't know that it's really like that, but I mean, I can take your word for it, I guess. I don't know. I've never.
I saw an undercover video of like this chicken and cow farm a few years ago, and I was just like
undercover video. They had to go undercover to get in.
They went undercover and like became an employee of this place so they could show like what it's like on the inside and like how people are treating these animals, and like it's pretty horrible, honestly. Like.
Is that the same one where they were like, oh, chicken nuggets is actually just a bunch of like baby chickens like grinded together? Is that one?
No, the one, I mean, the baby chicken video I know is the one where they show kids how chicken nuggets are made, and they're like, these are baby chickens, and this is pink slime that's like all chicken bone and stuff. Would you still eat it? And all the kids are like, yeah.
All the kids were like, okay. Like, what do you... Yeah. Trying to convince us here? Like, what do you... I don't know.
But it's just like videos of like baby, like chickens and stuff like that stuffed in cages, like with no space, and like killing baby males because they can't lay eggs and stuff like that. And
yeah, it's pretty sad. Males? It's crazy. Oh, you know what? I do have a story. I don't know how I forgot about this, but the other night, by which I mean Thursday, Friday.
Yeah,
Thursday night, I locked myself out of my car. which like normally, it wouldn't be a huge deal because like you could just call the tow truck and it's fine. You can go inside and wait or wherever you're at. Oh no, I was in the middle of nowhere and I didn't have anything on me but like my phone, So I called the insurance company and I was like, "Hey, I locked myself out. Can you send somebody out to open the car?" And they were like, "Yeah, let me look. We'll get back to you." And I was like, "Okay." So then I went to a different company online that said that they were nearby, and I tried to just schedule somebody on there, but it said they couldn't find anybody. So I called them, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't have anybody nearby to do that." And I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "All right, well then I'll just wait." And they're like, "Yeah, somebody should get back to you shortly if we can get it." And I was like, "Cool." So then my insurance called me back and they said, "Oh, we found a contractor outside of our network that can be there in about 90 minutes and they can get you into the car." I said, "Okay, that works." And they're like, "It'll be like $100 out of pocket though, which we can reimburse you for later. You'll just have to pay it up front." And I said, "That's fine as long as someone gets here to unlock my car, like let me in, Because
and it's your phone battery was like pretty low too.
Yeah, it was. It was at like 35%, and I had to wait like 90 minutes, and I was like, my phone's going to die. So, but the other thing too was I was, in the process of moving, so all my stuff was in my car. I was like, I have nothing outside of my car. It's all in there right now. And I was like, okay. This is also, by the way, the first time I've ever locked myself out of the car, like in my life, which I was like, this is the perfect time, like right when I need to get in my car the most, And so I called back the second company and I was like, "Hey, I found somebody to come. They're going to be here in 90 minutes. Can you cancel my request? I don't want anybody showing up." And they were like, "Yep, we can cancel it." And I said, "Cool." Their online portion, like where they said that they would match me with somebody to come out, they never said canceled though, so I'm concerned about that. And I'll get to more on that in a second. But the first group of people that the insurance company put me in touch with, they told me to text them my name and the address and then the make and model of the car. I said, okay. So I sent that information at about 8:00 at night. And they said, okay, well, we can, they on the phone, they said, we'll be there in 90 minutes. Text us this information. So I text them the information at about 8:00. 9:30 came around and nobody was there. So I was like, I'm going to call this one again. So I called them again at 9:30, an hour and a half after I'd talked to them and sent them this information at 9:30. And they said, "Oh yes, we got your information. I'll schedule it to come out." And I said, "What do you mean you schedule it to come out? You told me to text it to you and you'll come out within 90 minutes. And so they were like, we can dispatch somebody. They'll be on their way. They'll be there in about an hour. And I said, okay, so now that you have the address, it's an hour drive. And they said, yeah, it's an hour. They'll be there at 10:30. And I said, okay. So I come back at, like, I'm literally just sitting there. 10:30 rolls around. Nothing's there. And I was like, you know what? Maybe they're running a little bit late. I'll call them at 10:40. So I call them at 10:40. And they said, our driver is about 10 to 15 minutes away. I said, okay. 11 o'clock rolls by, 20 minutes later. 11 o'clock rolls by. I'm talking with this guy who's near me, like one of the guys. And he's like, yeah, let me call them and see if I can find out where this driver is. Because he knew the area better. And I didn't have anything to do. So I was talking to him for a little bit. So he knew the area better. And he calls them up. And this time somebody else answers the phone, even though it's the same number. And she's like, yeah, I think I'm nearby, but I think I'm lost. So he directs her to where we're at. They finally get there. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So they finally show up at about 11:15. Mind you, this whole thing, I found out my car was locked about 7:15. So it's been, 4 hours now. And so they come over, they get the car open in about 15 minutes. It wasn't too long. They were good about it. They were good at their job. They had the tools and stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. Which I was looking at. I talked to somebody the day after about it. And he was like, yeah, if you next time or if that ever happens again, just let us know. We can just drive you over to like Lowe's. We'll pick up like a couple equipment things that they have at Lowe's and be back in like 40 minutes, instead of 3 hours or 4 hours.
I was thinking someone there has to have the knowledge and skill set to do something like that. Like, I know you didn't really know anybody yet, but I was like, somebody there has to be.
Well, it was my first day there as well. But here's the other fun kicker about it. I had no confidence when they got there. I had no confidence that they were going to get into my car, because when they got out of the car, the guy Googled my car on how to get into it and watched the same YouTube video that I watched on how to get into the car without the keys. He was sitting there watching YouTube on how to get into my car, and I was like,
paid $100 for that.
Isn't this your job, dude? Like, what?
He's like, I haven't seen one of these cars before. Not to mention, I told you that your car is one of the most broken into. Like,
is it?
Because it's so common.
I don't think you told me that.
Yeah, like recently I saw a huge thing, especially in our neighborhood, that like a lot of people's Kias and stuff were being broken into because apparently, I don't want to say the way on here, I don't want to spread the knowledge, but there's like a really easy way to jumpstart it with like a screwdriver.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, but
so like they're very easy to steal, and the parts are common.
Though, like, yeah, anyway. So they had to like get a YouTube video on it, and I thought it was funny. And
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. That's what you're here for, really. But they finally got in. They took off, and but back to that other contractor that I called. The people who ended up showing up, I paid them like $100. I got it reimbursed, so it's fine. But the other company was going to charge $132. So I put down my card info, and they said, we'll only charge you once we open your car. And I said, okay, that's fine. But then I, canceled the request because the other company said they were on their way, the company that showed up. But I looked on my statement today, and they still charged me $132. So I'm like, great. I just got more work. So now I have to go back and call this company and be like, hey, why did you charge me? I canceled the service. You never showed up. Like, you didn't perform any services for me, Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. And maybe it's just pending because they thought about it. But I hit cancel on their website 3 times. It didn't go through. So I called them, and they said, you have this active invoice or with us. And I said, no, I'd like to cancel the request for them to come out. I got somebody else to come out. I don't want anybody. And they said, okay, we can cancel that for you. And I don't know if it just never went through, or I got lost in translation somewhere, but they still charged me anyway. So now I'm going to have to go through and look at it again.
Which is speak that with your bank if they won't undo it.
Yeah, I'm going to call it.
It has to be as inconvenient as possible. Right.
But if they don't like resend it or give me the money back, I'll have to dispute it with the bank. But like, look, they said they wouldn't charge me. They charged me anyway. They performed no services. Like, they didn't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was my Thursday night. That was basically the highlight of my week. Meanwhile, I was standing outside, and it was, by the time they got there, I think it was about 35 outside. And I was like, man, God. I wish I'd packed a denser jacket, or worn one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen you that stressed out in a while.
I was not happy about it. I was like, ugh. It was not a fun time.
Makes all my work stresses seem like a lot less in comparison, though.
But luckily, I didn't have to be up super early Friday morning, so I still got, I think, like 6 hours of sleep, so that was nice. But I messed up your sleep for sure, because you were supposed to open Friday
funny
morning.
Story about that.
And I just kept you up late, like texting you about all this drama that's going on with me.
Well, I was staying up because one, I was like worried about you and stuff. I want to make sure you got in okay. And then, but I also started playing Pokemon again that night. And so like literally I had started falling asleep on the Switch maybe 5 minutes before you called me. Like I was passing out on the game. And then you called me and you're like, I'm so sorry for keeping you up. And I was like, yeah, you're the reason I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah. Don't worry about it. So you're good.
Yeah.
I just had trouble. I was weird because I've had absolutely no problem sleeping every night, actually, up until that night. Like it I think it's because my work
Oh, I
schedule.
see.
I make
You
my
were just
schedule.
lying to me when you said it would be difficult to sleep when I'm gone. I see.
Well, the cat helps a lot, frankly. But I just
renamed her to Frankly. Ugh, that's terrible. Terrible
I
name for a cat.
That night, like I think it's because I worked so late. Like I stayed at work like half an hour to an hour late. I can't remember how late. Because it was really busy and my boss was in to meet with me. And then I had to open the next day. So it was like less than 12 hours between the time I left work and had to go back to work. And it was just hard on me besides what was going on with you. So it's because I have to work all these different shifts because there's different things I need to do at different times of day, you know? But the inconsistency really fucks up my sleep schedule. And I just eat whenever I want now. I don't. It's very strange.
You don't have to wait for me to get off work at 8 p.m. to eat. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like I think me and Kitty have been having dinner around 6 p.m. usually.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do once we're at this up. I'm going to go and what's it called? Go grab. Oh, I got to stop by Walmart, but then I'll go grab something to eat after that.
I'm gonna have to change into some sweatpants after this. Like, oof. But the cat is asleep on me, and it's like tight.
I was talking with some of the people down here about just getting the lay of it, and I was like, "What do you guys do in like your off time?" And every one of them was like, "There's nothing to do here. Like we
Not
just
even a
work
bar?
out." They're like, "We just work out after we're done," and I was like, "I could do that." So long story short. When I get back, I'll just be like super ripped, It'd be nice.
And then we'll get more tattoos?
No, I'll be ripped. What does that have to do with tattoos? Wait a minute. What? What a
you'll be super ripped and you'll have tattoos.
Your first successful transition of like a conversation, and you were just like, let's steer it towards there.
Because I think you'd be really attractive with a lot of muscles and a lot of tattoos. You're already really attractive.
No, you just want to get another tattoo.
I also want to get another tattoo.
Selfish
but
reasons.
I've told you, I like tattoos. I think tattoos are hot. Like as many as you want.
As many as you want. Oh man, you fully just want.
I do want to get another tattoo. I just don't know where to place it, and I want to gain a little bit of weight first. Can I complain to you about something? I complained about this yesterday to one of my friends, but so I'm trying to gain weight. Internet, now I'm trying to gain weight too. It is a struggle for me to eat when I get stressed out. So like most people get hungry, I don't. I have to plan eating all the time. It's a lot to think about. But so my goal is to gain some weight this year. TikTok will not stop sending me diet ads. Like literally every ad I've gotten lately is like, get your best body, try this program, diet, lose weight. And I'm like, can you fucking stop? It won't let me remove the ads. It won't let me ban the ads. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't know if I complained about this last week, but it's still happening. So I'm complaining about it again.
I think you talked about it briefly last week, but yeah, I get a lot of.
It's very annoying.
I get a lot of ads. Sorry, I got a message real quick. That was from work. What was I saying? Oh, I get a lot of ads for gym memberships, and it's just like, yeah, and it's just like, here's some memberships in Austin for you, and I was like, okay, but I'm not there, so
I get a lot of cat ads now because I've bought so many stuff for the cat and looked up so many things about cats. I was looking for a gift for another manager earlier because he's leaving, and like everything it advertised to me was like something related to cats, and I was like, target audience not achieved. I did laugh though. I actually took a picture because the cat was sleeping in my lap, and it's scrolling through like coffee related gifts, and this mug popped up that says she believed she could, but her cat was asleep on her lap, so she didn't.
It's the law. Like, you're not allowed to move if the cat's there. That's what I saw. I saw a picture this week, and it was just somebody sitting on a couch, and she goes, "I'm pretty sure I'll die of starvation before I can get up." And she had like 5 cats sitting on her, and I was like, "What? Why do you have so many cats that you can't get up?"
Some people's hearts are too big and can't say no.
Yeah.
I don't know who I might be if you weren't here to rein me in.
Oh, I forgot to say this little fun tidbit about the whole being locked out of my car thing. On the way, I had a long drive that day, right? Before I got locked out. And then, so I stopped and I grabbed like snacks for the drive, which, we all do. And I got like a bag of, what are the Dots pretzels, which are really good. I like them. I don't think I've had them. Yeah, you said they're like honey mustard, right? Yeah, I got the honey mustard ones. They're good. But I left them in the car because, obviously I had to go do stuff outside the car when I got here. And so I left them in the car, and the first thing the locksmith did when she came over to like look and see where my keys were, because they were just sitting in like in the cup holder. He said, "Oh, yep, your keys are right in there." And I said, "Yeah, I know. I've been staring at them for like the past 3.5 fucking hours waiting for you guys."
Yeah, you're like, why the fuck do you think I called you?
Yeah, I was like, "Yep, they're right there." And the guy, that brings up a second thing. But she looks in, she goes, "Well, don't you worry. We'll get you back to your pretzels in no time." And I was like, "Pretzels? Girl, most everything I own is in the car. I don't give a crap about pretzels. Like, I will pay you in pretzels if that's what you're interested in right now."
Like, what do all of my prized possessions are in that vehicle. The least of my concerns is some pretzels.
And then the dude had the best question. Like, the best question any locksmith could just ask at the right time, right? I've been waiting for over 3 hours for them to show up. He comes over, looks in, starts to get out his tools, hasn't done any work yet. Like, it's not like he's been working for half an hour and it's just not going his way. He hasn't done any work yet. And it was like being on the phone with customer service of like, it was terrible. They just ask you the dumbest things possible.
Yes.
He looked in there, hasn't gotten anything started, has his tools like on the ground, hasn't even picked up anything. And he goes, "Well, do you know where your spare key is?"
Oh, my Lord.
Excuse me? You think I just sat here waiting for 3 hours, not thinking about where the spare key is? And I said, I didn't even say anything. I looked at him and he goes, "No, yeah, I guess if you knew where that was or had it, we wouldn't be here." And I was like, "Yeah, what?" Yeah, I've been waiting for 3 hours.
God, at least he realized. Because that happens to me all the time at work, actually. What? Like, when we have to call stuff in, there's like a number we call and they go through all this stuff. But I always troubleshoot first because, like, most of the problems I know how to solve. So if I can't solve it, like, I'll troubleshoot. So I'll put in the notes, I'll be like, I tried this. Here's the issue I'm having. Every time without fail, they'll be like, "Okay, did you do this?" "Yes, I did." "Okay, I'm going to have you try this again." "Yes, I already did it like 4 times or else I wouldn't have called you." I know some people are really dumb and like technology is not their thing, but I generally can fix most issues I have with technology. Like, generally,
That was the same thing when I started with Activision. My name got put in wrong. Everybody always spells it Jordan. Like, it's my whole life. It's been like that. And so when I started with Activision, they put my name in wrong, and it was on like 6 different accounts that my name was wrong. So for like months after starting there, everything was wrong, and I was just trying to get it fixed for months. And it didn't help that they're different systems. So like different people had to be contacted because I couldn't just contact IT and have them change it, or HR and have them change it. No, I had to contact HR, IT, the head of my department, that my senior manager had to sign off on like an approval to change my name in the system. I had to prove that it was my legal name and that I wasn't just wanting to change it for preference. I was like, it was a whole thing. But one of the days I had to change my name in a system, and the system had 2 categories. It said legal name and preferred name. And the legal name obviously is your legal name, and the preferred name, they would just use that on like company emails and things like that. They would still use the legal name for like payment and all that stuff, but because they required to. But the preferred name you could change, the legal name you couldn't. So I changed my preferred name to my actual name, and then I emailed like 7 different people, and I said, I need to change my legal name in here because it's incorrect in the legal name spot. The preferred name is correct, but the legal name is not. And then I listed underneath it. I said, I changed it in this system. I changed it in this system. I tried doing these steps. it says when I click on the name and click edit, it says talk with your IT department or something like that. It said talk with like a supervisor who has like an administrator who can change this for you, because I can't change the legal name. And I sent all that in an email to somebody, I can't remember. And they got back to me and they said, when you click on edit, what does it say? And I sent them a screenshot of my first message. I screenshotted it and I sent it again. And I said, please see this attached image. And it was just an image of me sending the first message again, because they didn't even fucking look at it or read it. I don't know. And then they sent another message back and said, oh, I must have missed the part where you put the steps that you'd already taken. I was like, there's only like 3 sentences in this. And the third sentence is the steps that I've taken. Like, what do you mean you missed them? It's the step. Like, it's
like
right
the reading
there.
level here is less than desirable.
I was like, what? They're like, so did you try hitting edit? And I was like, no, I just magically stared at my computer and thought it would change if I thought about it hard enough. Of course I hit edit. What are you trying? Like, I was so mad. I was like, I don't know what you're doing right now, people. It's ridiculous. Oh, but yeah, some fun times having my name, you know. It's
No, yeah, you've always had issues. Like he has to double check like everything.
Time. Everything ever. They what was it recently they put my name in wrong? They put my name wrong on something, and I corrected on one thing. Oh, when they were trying to get me a hotel room, I had to correct my name because I was like, I don't want to show up and then be like, this isn't you. You have the wrong name. No hotel room for you. And just go like sleep in my car or something, you know? Like, didn't want to do that. So I had to correct them beforehand. Ugh. Too much time. That's what
I don't have that problem. Everybody in my life has always been like, oh my God, your name is so unique.
Your name is so unique. I know exactly how to spell it. Ripely, right there.
Yeah, I think like half the time too, my name is like why people will like pick my resume or things like that, or like even bother looking at me online. Like they're like, oh, cool.
That's funny. I think so. I think that might be part of it. Yeah.
Plus, my name's gender neutral, so they can't make like inferences about me.
I mean, so is Jordan. I've met plenty of female Jordans.
Yeah, the most of the female Jordans I've met though, like their names are spelled like different. You know, like they'll put like DY in or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
usually Y or A. I don't know if I've ever met another JORDON that's a female. I met one.
I met a few male Jordans.
Yeah,
it makes customers really happy when I can spell their name right. I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend has the same issue, and they're like, oh, cool.
So I've also been reading more this week. Well, I started. When
are you starting my favorite series?
When I finish my book, Calm Your Tits, Woman. When I finish this book, I will read some other stuff probably. But like I said, I had free time like Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday through today, I have not had any free time other than the time I set aside to do the recording for the podcast, you know. Oh, listen to this. I thought this is pretty funny. You're gonna laugh. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have to laugh. It's required now.
Okay.
Don't feel pressure or anything, but but it's required. And I saw this joke the other day, and I was going to bring it up, but I am also actually reading a book, but this joke is about reading, so I thought it fit perfectly. Are you ready? Are you ready for the joke?
I'm ready.
Okay. You got your laughter like all ready and stuff. You were like, and you did your vocals and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Now you're sure? Because I don't want to be like at the end of this and you're just like,
tell me the joke.
Oh, okay. All right. Why are you so angry? I feel like you're not in a receptive mood for my jokes. Okay, so I'm reading a novel where the main character has strained the muscles around his spine.
Okay.
That's his backstory. I think you should laugh. I thought it was funny.
That's his backstory. Oh.
Oh my Lord. You what, Nate?
You say things so casually that I don't understand sometimes. Like I'm like, okay, when's the joke coming? You know, because you're just so like, yeah, here it is. No, it took me a second.
That's funny.
That is funny.
You know, my doctor told me the other week that I have really grown as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, like her exact words were, I've gained excess weight, but I prefer to see it the other way.
Did I ever tell you about the time my doctor labeled me as morbidly obese because they entered my height wrong? So some of my
oh my gosh,
I was looking through my paperwork the other day and I remembered because it said on my paper, for those of you who don't know, I am a little underweight actually. I'm 5'3", and a few years ago I went to the doctor.
You've been lying to me. You told me you were 5'4". You liar.
I went to the doctor and they put my height as like 4'3" instead on accident. And because of that, I was at a healthy weight at the time. And because of that, when they put it into the system, it labeled me as morbidly obese. And I just know one day that's going to come back to bite me in the ass.
Oh, man. That was great because that same medical paperwork, I actually needed it to submit like for a claim. So when they put it on there, they were looking for like health concerns. And I had to explain, on my brain I had to fill out
showing them.
I had to fill out an official memo and get it notarized saying that you were not actually morbidly obese, but that they messed up your height on the height section.
Yeah.
It was such a pain, but it was so funny talking with everybody about it.
And like, I don't know if you know about this, but like if a doctor labels you as obese, it like fucks up everything in your medical paperwork. Like they will never do anything for people they label as obese. Like they will just tell them they need to lose weight, even if their health problems are not because of their weight, you know? Like honestly, I'm so sorry to people who have to deal with that because I could not imagine. Doctors already don't take me seriously, but I'm sure that's just another obstacle to overcome. I remember when I was going to the doctor for the fibromyalgia, they were diagnosing me with fibromyalgia, right? They left me in their waiting room for 2 fucking hours with these like bright ass fluorescent lights. He came in and I was like, yeah, I just have a migraine from the lights. Like I've been dealing with migraines since I was 12, you know? Suddenly they get super, they're like, oh, you get migraines. Like we can bring a doctor in for migraines. So I'm like, no, I don't need a migraine doctor. I have a migraine doctor. I know all about them. Like I'm good. But they just latched on to the migraines all of a sudden. I was like, no, I don't need help with that. Thank you. I would like to get out of this. But plus I was late for work that day because I'd never waited longer than 15 to 30 minutes for my appointments there. But like I said, I waited for like almost 2 hours in just the exam room waiting for the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. Plus I was texting my boss. I was like, I'm really sorry. Like this has never happened before. Like I will be there as soon as I can. It's like a 20-minute drive. Like I was like an hour and a half late for work. It was fun. And that is my TED Talk. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just looking over these jokes right now and I'm chuckling at them. I'm also listening to you probably, but these ones are good too.
Fine. Tell me your jokes.
Yeah. All right.
Tell me your secrets.
May or may not know, my son's 4th birthday was today. And when he came to see me, I just didn't recognize him at first, but in my defense, I had never seen him before. I'm an expert at picking leaves and heating them in the winter in water. It's my specialty.
In the winter.
In the winter.
Aw, specialty. That's cute.
Why is grass so dangerous?
Why?
Go ahead, you guess. Because it's full of blades.
Yeah. Someone allergic to grass, yes. Oh, I'm getting tired. Tell me more stories. No jokes.
Stories? No, I'm telling jokes now.
No, I'm making sleepy with the jokes. I want to talk to.
You making sleepy with the you don't laugh at my jokes?
I want to hear stories.
What kind of, you got to tell stories if you want stories.
Well, I don't know if I have any stories.
You don't have any stories? I guess that's the end of this podcast.
I mean, I guess I have this one customer.
We'll try again next year.
Well, I have this one customer who, like, she's complained before and said, like, one of my employees was rude to her. And I wasn't there, so I just, like, dealt with it and took care of her or whatever. So the other day, we were slammed, but our wait time was really good. It was, like, maybe 10 minutes. But we had a lot of mobile orders. And this lady always, like, she basically wants us to make her stuff right as she walks in. Like, if we see her, she wants us to serve her before anybody else. And I don't do that. I'm like, all these people have waited just as long. Whatever. But she started being really fucking rude about it. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, are you this person? And she goes, yes. And I was like, okay, your drink is right here. She actually just finished it if you'd still like it. And then she just started like yelling and she was like, they should have been ready all this time ago. And all these people got these beverages and on and going on and on and on and on and on. Right. And I was like, okay, well, you have a great day. Cause she was just like yelling at us and running out, you know? Yeah. But like we were nice to her. She was very rude to us, but like we did not give her an attitude. I was just matter of fact with her. That's how I handle angry customers at this point. I'm just like, hey, here are your options. Like,
I think the internet's going out on my end or something because you are coming in very broken up.
Oh, am I? Am I still? My computer went to sleep for a second. If that's
it. Try to say it. Go again. It probably was. What you what, mate? Why would you do this?
Do what? My computer just goes to sleep after a while. Is it better now? Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah.
That's the end of the podcast.
Good Lord, woman. Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
I take that as a no. Why would you sing that it's the end then? What are you talking about?
Because I couldn't hear you for a minute.
And then I could hear you
after. That came through after. Is there a delay now? I think there's a delay again.
Yeah, I think so. I think we got like delayed right at the end.
Well, we made it an hour through.
Is it still delayed?
I don't know. It depends. Can you hear me when I speak now?
Yeah, it's such a long wait. It's such a long pause.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well, there's a bunch
I guess that's a good stopping place.
Yeah, unless it sorts itself out, but
you let me know.
I mean, it got shorter that time, like the talking.
Yeah, is it better now?
I think so. Did it fix itself?
Maybe.
Well, it's a shorter interval, so I'll take it. I will take the what's it called?
Should I finish my story or just?
Yeah, will you start it over? I didn't hear most of it, so I don't.
So, this customer basically came in and she was mad we didn't make her beverage before everybody else who was waiting. Started yelling at us, and I was just like, "Oh, are you this person? We have your drink right here. Like, it's ready if you still want it." Not rude at all. Didn't give her an attitude. Just was like, "We have your drink," you know. She waited 3 minutes past her expected time.
Right.
She's yelling at us, all this crazy stuff, but she was talking to me. And a lot of people don't realize I'm the store manager.
You're clicking your thing again, aren't you?
I did once, sorry. A lot of people don't realize I'm a store manager because I look young and I'm, small and unassuming, I think. So she just like yelled at me and ran out. And then she emailed me later, like literally like maybe 15 minutes after she left. And she was like, I just wanted to let you know that I'm probably not coming back because the people at your store gave me such an attitude and I had to wait for so long. And I think I've said it on here before, but that's my pet peeve is when people are like, I've been waiting for like 30 minutes and I can literally see the time they ordered on their sticker. And I'm like,
right. The sticker has the time on it. It's been, like 5-10 minutes. You're like, okay, I understand it's been a little bit, but come on now.
Yeah. And it's like, I get you're in a rush and stuff like that. And you want to get to where you're going fast. But if you're looking to get coffee before you go to work, you need to make extra time because everybody else is doing the same thing. Every single person thinks that they're the most important and that they need to get to their destination on time, that they should be pushed to the front of the line. But we can't do that for everybody.
Right.
Like
or just,
I have to be fair and equal.
Buy a coffee pot. Like what?
Yeah. And like like I said, we were going fast. So if you gave yourself like 15 extra minutes to get to work in the morning, you should be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
and the traffic sucks. So like you always have to give yourself time. Plus she came like right as school was like school rush was starting. Like
right when the kids were showing up.
Yeah, like we had a ton of kids and parents and people going to work. Like we're a busy location. So
yeah, I don't
TLDR, please be nice to the people doing stuff for you and don't try to lie about like the way they treat you, because
the way they treat you.
I get you're frustrated about the wait, but when you're yelling at me and then telling me my team's disrespectful, no, it's not going to cut it.
Right. You're like, well,
I'm waiting to respond to her email until Monday.
You were incorrect. So, oh, that was today.
No, it was Friday.
Did you? What?
I got a text message. I'm sorry.
I was like, is the delay Friday. Back? What do we?
No, it was on Friday, and it was a busy day, so it was a little frustrating, but.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh man, what are you doing the rest of the night? Just hanging out?
I'm supposed to stream.
Right.
Get the cat out of my lap.
You decide what you're streaming.
I'm probably gonna start drinking. I'm thinking maybe Destiny 2.
Destiny.
Yeah, I want a Bloody Mary.
Oh man, did I send you that meme about Bloody Mary?
You did.
I swear.
And I think about it every time I go to make one now.
Where do I have it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Do I? Yes. Someone tweeted and they said, I think people who like Bloody Marys are lying. Like cold vodka tomato soup? Let's be serious. It's so funny to me.
I love them, frankly. Hi, kitty. Ow.
Yeah, I don't know why you like. They're just not good.
I like a lot of olive juice in spicy tomatoes.
Yeah.
Plus, you add vodka. What's not to like?
Lots of things. Oh man, we were on the phone the other night, and I was sitting in my car, and I almost had a heart attack. So I looked over to the car to my left, and there was just a skeleton sitting in the back seat staring at me, and I I jumped a little bit, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" You're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "There's a skeleton in the car next to me." I sent you a picture of it. It's perfectly angled, so it's looking out the window, and it's just staring at me. And I was like, "What is happening there?" Oh man!
I saw a thing today that said, I don't know if it was real, but it was like a thing on Twitter that said Shakira dressed up a skeleton like a witch and put it pointing in the direction of her ex-mother-in-law's home.
Pointing in the direction? That's funny.
Hi, sleepy kitty. I am so in love with this cat. I don't think you understand how much she means to me.
No, she's mine. You can't have her.
If anything ever happens to you, I will be so unhappy.
You talking to me or the cat?
Both of you.
I don't believe that. You were talking to the cat. Don't even lie.
I was talking to the cat. No, you know what though? So like, I have anxiety. It's weird how having a cat has changed the anxiety, because literally like the day after we got her, I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, you're going to die one day and I'm not ready.
You're just anxious about her now. You just transferred it all over to her. You're not anxious about
so
work.
much.
You're just like, I need to get back to the cat.
And I don't want her to be alone. Caitlin actually showed me a tweet the other day and it was like something about like, sorry, I can't leave because like I'm leaving my cat home alone all day, and like what if she hates me and like all this stuff. And she goes, you, and I was like, yes, like I'm so concerned about her health and safety, and like if she's getting enough attention and exercise. Like I'm playing with her for hours a day, I care about her a lot.
Attention and exercise, nah, I'm with her.
Because she used to live with a bunch of other cats, so what if she gets lonely?
Those cats like tried to kill her when the last time they were together.
If that is true, Milo kept hissing at her. And that other cat was like uninterested in anyone. Do you remember that cat that was like hidden behind us?
The black one that was like up on that little shelf.
Yeah, he was not interested in people.
No.
And this cat, I have to keep a hand on her butt so she doesn't fall off my chair.
You mean hold her? Yeah.
She just stretches out across my entire lap like, yes, this is good.
Did you see?
But it makes you trust me.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the those lab grown like diamonds?
I mean, they're fine. I just think I think it's dumb when
do you
they're just as
prefer them
expensive
or the real diamond? The cheaper is the thing. Like they're the lab grown diamonds are cheaper right now. But like that's what I'm asking. Do you prefer one over the other, or like one more than the other?
No.
No.
Diamonds aren't my preferred gem, so like I think they're pretty.
You
but
have to. You got to pick. You want lab grown or you want real diamonds?
Lab grown because it's more ethical.
Yeah. I saw a tweet that says it's actually crazy. We figured out how to grow real diamonds that are cheaper and better quality than the real thing. And so many people are still like, no thanks. The suffering is what makes diamonds special. Oh, I like that. I thought it was good.
Also, I would hope, like, you know me well enough to buy a ring that I like, right?
What's that?
I don't know if are you on Reddit?
Ring? Who said ring? I'm talking about diamonds, girl. What you talking
about? I know,
about?
but like if you're gonna buy me a ring, like, you know me well enough to buy one I like, right? Like, you wouldn't buy something I would find really ugly. I've been seeing all these posts on Reddit lately about people getting engagement rings and like their partner, like they'd be like, oh, I like everything except gold. Like, I don't want gold. Like, I like silver. And then their partner buys them a gold ring. And it was like, I thought you would like it because I bought it for you.
I bought this one.
And then the girls are so nice. They're like, I only wear silver jewelry and it's really ugly and I don't know what to do. But he did buy me this nice ring. And it's like, well, yeah, if it's a symbol of your love and relationship, though, like, you should make sure the other person likes it, right? Especially if you're going to spend so much money on it.
Not so good.
Like, if you gave me like a vomit yellow ring with a gold band and it was like gigantic, I'd be like, oh, we have a problem. You know, like, oh, you don't know me that well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
Oh man, listen to this. I hate to admit this, but our feelings on certain things really do change as we get older. 10 years ago, I would have preferred to get a new video game instead of an engagement ring. But now that I'm older, I would prefer to get a domesticated raccoon instead of an engagement ring.
Yes. I did get a cat. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Man, she's going to forget about me by the time I get back.
No, she's not. She misses you every night.
Oh, sure. That's why you're washing my scent out of everything.
No, I didn't wash your pillowcase.
And the pillowcase that I never use. That's funny. Alrighty. Well, it is about that time. Unless you got any other last minute stories or quips or things to throw out there.
Everybody be kind to yourselves.
Yeah.
Feed and water yourself.
If you're kind to yourselves, I'll be mean to you. Balance. That's what it's all about.
You smell like tuna, kitty.
I don't smell like tuna, but you. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We appreciate y'all tuning in. If you know someone who just wants to sit back and listen to two people talk about nothing in particular, or just talk about complaints that they've had this week, send them our way. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're on. You can also go to mindlessprattle.com. Find us on there. We got links to everything on there as well. If you liked this episode, wanted to share any feedback with us or thoughts, comments, concerns, maybe you want to tell a story, maybe you want to send us a story that you want us to talk about one week, you can go on the website and send us a message. There's even a little section for voice messages. If you don't feel comfortable with that, there's a little contact us page. You can just send us messages and we will get back to you, or as soon as we can. Excuse me.
Yeah, tell us stuff and things.
Tell us stuff and things. But other than that, we appreciate y'all tuning in. I am Jordan, and that's Ripley over there. And unless she has anything else to say, we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye. I gotta stop. Ugh.